People doing their bodily functions in public really sets
peeing?
me off.
That's a bad one.
Well, yeah, it is, but that's usually... I feel like usually when people doing that, they're like homeless. I'm more talking about picking your nose.
Yeah.
Farting, but burping. Like,
Picking your nose, I've read, is like...
a cultural...
acceptable in Japan. But
I don't know why I brought it up, because it's just going to send me into retch mode.
I think the difference is that if you're picking your nose frequently, it's going to be small harvests. Versus if you're picking your nose like once every,
3 months,
couple days or something, you're going to be getting some stuff out of there. Okay.
I don't know why.
You're just
why
retching.
did I bring it up? Because I've seen people...
Because it's a pet peeve.
I've seen people do it. I don't even think it's a pet peeve. I think it just makes me sick.
Okay. Anyway,
so don't do that. Just do it behind a tissue if you must. Don't do it on public transportation. Go into the bathroom. And then I was just... Huh? Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine.
I think spitting grosses me out.
Spitting is just... it seems very unnecessary, and yeah. And you're stepping in it, and... Sometimes
it's necessary, I think. Like, I've been like running or something and like, oh gosh, I gotta get rid of some of this, but if you're just kind of a gross Neanderthal walking around just spitting for no freaking reason,
I feel like I usually see it when I see it and it pisses me off. It's
always big gross men
punk in downtown Santa Rosa. It's some young punk who's at the traffic light, waiting for the crosswalk or whatever light, and you walk up behind them and they just do it because there's people there now and they have an audience, and I feel like it's just like, I know it's like a fuck you to everyone, and it's like, you fucking little, I just want to rub your face in it. I just want to grab you by the neck and shove you down.
That would be good for them. That would
but
be
I'm
healthy
not strong
for them.
enough. I would get my ass kicked or whatever.
That's why you gotta kick them in the balls from the back. I'm just kidding. Don't actually do that.
I've been trying to do it from the front all this time. It's just like it's like an FU, and I'm like, what? You're so unique. Only you thought of that move, you little prick.
I think a good reaction would be to puke on them.
Well, I would if I could, but...
if you were really grossed out by it, if you could puke on them and be like, why did you do that? That was so gross.
No, see, all that would happen is I would retch, and they'd,
get pleasure out of it?
Get satisfaction. Excuse me. The retching led to a yawn because I opened my mouth too wide. They'd get satisfaction out of it. They'd get the feedback they probably wanted. And I can't barf on command. Otherwise, I would.
I can't identify with somebody who likes to make other people retch.
Well, it's a special kind of person. But yeah. Well, you're about as far from that.
You're sweet. Except, seeing people retch from smells is pretty funny. Mm-hmm. Like old milk or something, like...
Yeah, that's fun.
That's funny.
But I don't necessarily want to be the person making them do that. It's funny to watch. Or dads changing diapers, that's a really good one.
You'd think that would be like a self-esteem lowering thing rather than like a, yeah, I did it kind of thing.
Excuse me, just shifting this tiny space.
I feel like my self-esteem would be lowered if somebody retched from an action I had done.
No, yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's like someone who's kind of sadistic and they fancy themselves a rebel in society. Like graffitiing a wall. I mean, that's a really poor, like, old person's example, but, it's just, I'm wrecking a thing. I'm making a thing ugly.
Yeah.
I'm spitting my boogers on in public.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's just that kind of person. Wow, I feel like...
I see really a lot of big middle-aged men doing it.
Yeah.
Spitting just nasty lugs on the road. And then if you're walking and it's like a spitty green thing and you're like, ooh, that's special.
Okay, I think we got to move on. Otherwise I will vomite.
I don't know if this is something that should be put in because it's pretty gross.
All right. Well, we can.
And we're probably just calling people out and...
Do we care about that? Maybe we're doing a public service.
That's true.
I mean, you're gross. Like, do girls look at that? I always want to say that to boys, which is, again, so gender or
sexist,
sexual orientation centric, heterocentric or something. But like, I always used to want to say to boys, like, do you think girls like that? Okay, any sex that you're into, like, do you think? And maybe some do, but I have never, even as a young person.
Do you think that's going to attract anyone to you?
Exactly.
No.
Thank you for putting it better than I did. I never, as a young person, looked at that and was like, oh, such a rebel. It was like, ew, that's fucking disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, I mean, the kind of people you are going to attract is going to be,
scum? I don't know.
Kind of weird.
Was that too far?
Weird people that are into boogery spit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not that you're weird if you're into boogery spit.
Oh.
But,
Oh, I think it's safe to say.
To each their own.
God.
I mean, it's not my cup of tea, but, live your life.
That's fair.
But just don't leave it on the... Don't do it outside, because it's
Try not to inflict it on too many people. I mean, it is kind of an inside type of thing, in my opinion. In my humble opinion. I am a cho. Well, I was more...
You're a cho?
I'm ho. Im-ho. In my humble opinion.
Oh, I thought you said...
My boss says it all the time. Yeah.
I am a cho.
I'm cho.
I'm a cho.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I'm not. I got a hair up my nose. No, I was actually gonna mention, like, burping in public, which I definitely...
Speaking of which...
Well, we can make it that kind of podcast if you want. I mean, bring it, buddy. I subdued one earlier. I kind of did it in my hand away because I just didn't know if we wanted to do that. But anyway,
I don't think it matters. I mean, you can
don't.
edit it out.
If it's a good one, we'll keep it in. But anyway, like the occasional burp is fine. But when we were on that whale watching trip in Monterey on New Year's Day, we drove to Monterey, which was kind of stupid. Like, I kind of forgot how far it is, even though we looked. So it was a long day, it was good. It was good. And so we went on a whale watching trip because we thought we might see orcas, and we didn't. But we saw a lot of other stuff. But it was kind of a rough...
There were dolphins, jellyfish,
gray whales.
We didn't really see the whales too much, but
they're kind of boring. Cool. I mean, not boring, but they're just kind of slow. Whereas like the dolphins and the seals and stuff move around a lot. The otters are probably always my favorite.
The otters are cute.
But
You got seasick.
I forgot that the last time I went on a whale watching trip, I got seasick because I never used to get seasick. But it was kind of a rough, like there were some big swells and I didn't have Dramamine or ginger or anything.
I thought it was fun, but also kind of scary.
It was fun and scary, but
bouncing.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
By the time I realized I was getting sick, it was too late to kind of go in the back where it's more stable, and look at the horizon and everything. So finally, I'm feeling really sick. I'm sitting in the back of the boat, and there's this guy behind me who is clearly not feeling well either, and he's just burping
out
every few minutes,
out loud,
mouth open, juicy,
just not trying at all. It's like just kind of trashy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can burp and not be like, I don't know, projecting it.
Yeah, you can kind of do it into your hand, like I just did a few minutes ago, and just.
And he was right behind us.
He was like right in my ear, and I'm like trying so hard just to. Quell the turmoil that's in my gut and like closing my eyes, like, please don't talk to me. Please don't.
That's why I don't go outside if I don't have to. Because you have to go out and be around people that need training.
That are
and it's
swine.
Like, I don't have the energy or the time to try to train people.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, they're probably not going to react well when you try to train them.
Right. I mean, I thought about turning around. I'm kind of like those people on the plane who are just kind of making out and, like, being super loud and squishy with their kisses. Like, I really wanted to say something, but you're like, on this...
You're practically on top of people.
Yeah.
And you're, like, making out.
But you're stuck in this thing with them. So if it goes wrong, you're stuck still on this boat or plane or whatever with these people for another hour at least, then sitting in that discomfort. And it's like, it'd be better just to put my headphones on, but it was still so choppy that I didn't even want to move and, try to do that. But it was like, I know that there's varying degrees of what people consider polite or how they were raised. And I know that sometimes I'm on the sensitive end of that of like, what the hell, you animals?
But at the same time, there are people that lack empathy or are incapable of seeing the world through other people's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So they just go through life being an oblivious, rude person. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, if somebody did the same thing to them, like if somebody was burping in that guy's ear, he'd probably be like, what the fuck is this guy's problem? Right. And yet here he is sitting there burping away.
Yeah. Maybe he didn't even notice he was doing it, but if someone else did it, he'd be like, that's disgusting and rude.
He might not have said it, but I'm sure he'd be thinking it.
I don't know. It was mostly because I wasn't feeling well, but I feel like
I was feeling it too, though. I wasn't feeling sick, but I was like, what is this guy's deal? This is disgusting.
Like, you're a pig. Because it sounds like just a little bit short of vomit. Burp, actual vomit.
Burp into your sleeve.
Burp into your sleeve.
I was channeling Bill Cosby there for a second.
Oh. Go ahead. I can't do a...
I'm not going to do a Bill Cosby. He's not...
You don't want to give him any... No. You don't want to give him any time? Okay. Burp into your sleeve. Time. You know, any not notoriety, what I'm trying to say.
I don't want to give Bill Cosby a nod.
Okay, so we'll edit this out.
Not like we're some famous people or anything. I don't want to give him any kind of good,
endorsement, name dropping. I can't. What is it?
Name dropping. That's like if we know him.
Well, they don't know that we don't. I mean, that we might not know him.
I feel like we've gone off the rails again.
Okay. Getting
burped
at, getting burped on. The thing is that I do loud, crazy burps all the time around my mom, and I shouldn't because now that we're living with her again...
Well, you're not on top of each other.
Hates it.
That's the difference, is like...
But I know that she hates it, and I'm
because he was like a foot behind us.
Yeah.
Like, I mean...
On a vessel that you can't escape from without jumping into the water.
If there wasn't a breeze, we would have been sitting in a cloud. Like...
It was pretty nasty.
And it's not difficult to just go boop and kind of like blow it down or like blow it out of your nose or blow it into your shirt or just, I don't know, anything
something
really.
Else. Go turn around. Yeah.
Yeah. Put your head into your sleeve like when you cough. Mm-hmm. It's like when people cough without covering their face. What's wrong with you?
Animals.
Who raised you?
Animals.
Were you raised by a freaking
pig?
Pig? Thanks.
Yes.
I didn't know what to say.
Uh-huh.
You told me what to say.
I did. I will always be there to tell you what to say.
Thanks.
Yeah, so pretty gross. I don't know. People are just hard. Because maybe there's stuff that we do that, I don't know, like right now I'm sticking my finger in my ear and like figuring what I can come up with.
That's pretty gross.
Because they've been super
snorting
itchy.
That grosses me out.
Okay.
You go, and I'm like, because I'm just envisioning the slime going down your throat.
Don't do that.
I can't because when I hear the sound, I see the image.
So the problem is that I get congested. I do have sinus issues. I don't do it all the time. Like, how often would you say I did it?
You do it very rarely,
which I think
is the scary thing.
Why is that? Because it's quite a buildup?
No, it's because it's like a surprise every time. It's like, oh, booger snorting.
Okay, I just want to be clear that when you call it booger snorting, I mean, it's not really boogers.
It is booger snorting.
Phlegm, which is different.
No,
it's mucus. Boogers come out of your nose and they're crusty.
It's in your nose. It's up in the back of your nose. If you snort it in and spit it out, it is going to be green.
But you wouldn't call those boogers because boogers are hard. Boogers. Fuck.
Now we're just splitting nose hairs. See what I did there?
That would have been beautiful if you hadn't, like, called attention to it as a joke. If you had just said, we can cut this part out and just preserve your beautiful joke. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
No, it's beautiful.
Continue picking it apart.
Picking. Oh, I'm sorry. It was beautiful.
Get out of there. What are you doing? Your hands are cold.
I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah, it is hard, but I don't know how to snort them up into my mouth and spit them out, and it's disgusting.
And that's gross, too. Just go into the bathroom, plug a nostril, and blow it out.
It's not up
plug
there.
The other
it's
nostril.
Back in my throat. It's like back here. It's not right here.
I think it's at the back of your...
Now you're making me want to do it.
I think it's at the back of your thing above the flap. Whatever the heck that is.
I have no idea. I feel like I've done it a lot less. I'm making an
your
effort.
Nasal passages. That's all I know. It's not in your throat. If it was in your throat, you wouldn't need to snort. Don't head swivel at me.
Do what I want.
You shit.
It's like the one thing I do, right? Like, what else?
Yeah.
What else do...
You like to touch...
Yeah.
You like to touch me with your freezing-ass cold hands.
Because it's fun. That's different. It's fun to see you jump. I don't do it as much as I used to because I finally realized how unpleasant it is. Maybe after you did it to me a few times and I was like, that's not cool. I'm sorry. Yeah. I only do it when you're really sassing me and you really deserve it. I'm sorry. But what else do I do? Because this is kind of fun.
I think I let you know what bothers me.
But what
like
else?
I try to hold it in, but then like once you've done it a few times,
what have I not worked on as much that I should or could?
I don't know.
Apart from the snorting, because the snorting's off the table.
You're really easy to live with. So.
Oh, that's nice. That's a nice thing to say.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Well, I just
What about me? What you got?
What you got? I don't think you do anything. You're very quiet.
Like a ghost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Except for my sniffing. But that's endless. I don't
notice that. I don't even notice it, which is weird because it is kind of booger related. I don't even notice it. Yeah, I don't think you do anything.
Wow.
Excuse me.
Nice.
Oh.
So what do you want to talk about now then?
Space.
Thanks. Oh gosh.
Jesus. Shepherd's pie.
We are in a closet, lest ye forget.
Stop, you're going to smack me in the face. It just came out. By the way, the farmhand in Guerneville does really good sandwiches, really good shepherd's pie. What else do we get? Bacon, mac and cheese. Chocolate chip cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I spent a lot of money there today. Good, well-spent money. Oh, we spent a lot of money because you gave me money.
Oh.
Yeah, so shout out when I'm burping up shepherd's pie. I can remember how good it was.
Yeah, and I can know how good it was.
Yeah. Well,
secondhand.
Or you can just taste it because there's some left.
Some secondhand shepherd's pie smells.
Speaking of bodily functions,
I
went and got my ears flushed the other day. I know I told you that, but I'll tell them because they want to hear about it. I can hear them on the edge of their seats.
Mm-hmm. Our massive audience. Spanning across the globe.
It's basically going to be like my mom, your dad. So anyway, I got my ears flushed because they were all backed up.
She couldn't hear anything.
Yeah.
It was like...
A deaf person?
Yeah. I was going to say like a grandpa or something.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
true.
Pretty rude.
Oh, yeah.
But I was always like, hey, you want something? She'd be like, huh?
Yeah.
What? And then I would say it louder. Huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, especially if I was like laying down, getting ready to go to bed and like, or in the bed with like my good ear against the pillow or like my beanie on because it's been cold.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really couldn't hear. I really was getting to where I was trying to read your lips to supplement, my bad hearing or what was left of my hearing.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally...
We were about to the point of having...
Fisticuffs?
Of needing note cards.
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah.
Food? Tapping it?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Food?
Yeah, that's true.
Bathroom?
Mm-hmm.
Little cue cards. P cards.
I think you could mime a lot of those things, but yeah, some you would need.
Mm-hmm.
Some would definitely need cue cards, words.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, frick. So I bit the bullet, made an appointment with Kaiser because in the past, occasionally, there's a lot of spit in my mouth. I've had to go in and have my ears flushed. And also because in the back of my mind, well, not really in the back of my mind, it was at the front of my mind, but I knew it was probably not a thing. I thought, what if there's like a friggin' bug in there? No.
That
like a cockroach.
I am not knowing words. Words, no.
Oh, you got it. Hair.
Yep. That is an irrational...
It's not.
Fear.
Because I swear I saw like a Rescue 911 or something one time where a lady had a cockroach pulled out of her ear.
What?
And so I have never forgotten that. And then one time there was a thing that went around, although I think it was kind of like a joke or not real, because I don't think a spider would stay in someone's ear. It was like a jumping spider in their ear.
Someone's ear.
Exactly. And that would be cute. But I was more thinking of ticks because we have ticks here and because the dogs were coming in with ticks. And I was like, if a fucking tick is in my ear.
You would absolutely feel it biting you because.
I'm thinking it just crawled in there to bite me and like died, drowned in wax or something. I don't know.
Have you ever been bit by a tick?
I have not.
It's like being poked with a needle.
Because some people have said you can't always feel them. Because I think it's an evolutionary thing where they don't, it's not in their best interest to be felt.
Yeah, it's very minor. I think it depends on where they bite you, of course, or, it depends on the person. Like me, I can feel it. Anytime I've ever been bitten by a tick, I'm like, what the fuck? It's because it's like somebody's sticking me with a needle. Very slightly, but definitely
still a needle.
Sticking me with something. So then I look down, I lift my shirt up or something, and there it is, trying to friggin' bite into me.
Knock on wood, I have never been bitten by
Which
a
is
tick.
surprising because you have
I know.
Mr. Ding Dong. Ding Dong the dog.
Could you be more specific? Because not everyone knows who you're referring to.
Mr. Ding Dong the dog, who is like a tick magnet.
Charlie. Yes.
I don't understand how you haven't gotten a tick from that freaking dog.
I mean, I've had them on me. I had one on my t-shirt. But I think when they get on him, it's so jungly that they can't even escape, even though at that point they probably want to.
One tick enters. No ticks return.
Pretty much. They're like, get me out of here. I don't want him anymore.
I want a human. And they just
die there. A hairless human.
Yeah, it's fun when they climb up onto the bed from the dog because they're like, yeah, I give up on that one. Coming after you.
The hairless
Super
monkeys.
Cool.
So anyway, I got my ears flushed. No tick in the ear.
No, let's complain about the dog more.
There was no. That's why I was actually going to preface this episode with no dog pet peeves.
Was that a cough? What the hell was that?
I could just feel my throat kind of going. So
have a drink of water.
I just had a drink of its tea. First of all,
have a drink of tea.
Have a drink of tea right there. I did, but now I'm getting to the bottom where it's just the honey, and I do like honey, but there's bits in there. I like it to be a nice balance. So anyway, I got my ears flushed. Yeah, no tick in the ear, and
of course, no tick.
But just a lot of wax. So yeah, but now they're like itchy.
The listeners want.
Hey.
The listeners want to know if you've made a candle.
First of all, I make that joke every time I go get my ears flushed. So
I'm sure everybody makes that joke. The doctors probably.
How dare you?
Really enjoy it.
No, there wasn't enough. There was far too much to be in a human ear, but not nearly enough to make a candle, unfortunately, because I could have maybe made my copay back.
By selling candles out front?
By selling a half a candle, a stubby little candle. Yep, no, but there was, the harvest was bountiful. I highly recommend it. Feels really good.
I hope nobody out there is eating while listening to this. Well,
they shouldn't be eating while listening to a podcast. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah, no, I'm joking.
Oh, I didn't.
Well, we could do like a warning, like, don't eat. If you're eating,
warning, don't eat.
Put down the fork.
Don't do it.
For the next however long we're doing this for. Because, rough terrain ahead or something. I think we should keep that in. They're cute. You got a little monster in your belly. That was very my sister. I feel like I'm channeling. No! Stop it!
Like when you channeled your mom the other day?
Shut up.
When you were like,
shut the fuck up.
How she does that?
Yeah,
the yell.
She does do that.
She does
the kind
the
of
yell.
fake yell, but still very loud. It's not quite that.
I can't.
I don't know.
It's not really that.
But it wasn't yours. Yours was like a warrior, like. I don't remember, but it was scary to have you pointed out and realize that you were right.
Like, you sounded like your mom.
Shut your filthy mouth. Love you, Mom.
Just don't want to sound like you.
Yeah. No, because you want to be your own person. It's just a little scary because you realize that you don't have any control over it. And
I mean, you don't have to yell like that.
But it was fun in the moment. Okay. But you don't have any control over...
But it was fun. But it was fun, so I don't have any control over what I do if it's fun. Said the child.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that. That was pretty funny. I think it was satisfying. And then I realized after you said that, oh, I see why she does it, because it was kind of satisfying, but I don't want to do it. I'm my own person.
I know you're I know you're your own person. You should do it, though, if you enjoy it. I won't point out that it is like your mom's yell.
It's not that... I think it's scary when you realize... Are we boring you?
Yeah. Get on with it.
Oh my gosh, you're such
Get on with it.
Boring myself. I don't know.
I'm aging here. Aging.
I just want to bop you so hard.
Go on.
I'm going to beat you with that microphone. Are you going to make a good bludgeoning device?
Probably.
I don't know. You didn't say it like that. I mean, don't you think if you said something or did a gesture and I was like, oh my God, that was just like your dad, that you'd be a little bit like, I won't ever do it again. But maybe more of a thing that,
I don't know if I would care that much.
Subtly drives you crazy about them. You know what's weird is I feel like I very clearly look like my mom and my dad and like do mannerisms like them. But I don't ever look at you and think, wow, that was really like Steve or Karen. Or should I not mention their names?
Well, I think it's fine.
Okay. And I like don't see a lot of resemblance. It's just weird because I feel like I see resemblance with your brother and your dad. And obviously, like, you're men, so you're not gonna probably have like feminine features like your mom, but I don't look at you and like see them.
Weird.
So maybe you are adopted.
Could be.
Your brother was right.
They could have taken the wrong baby.
Oh shit. Wouldn't that be weird?
I mean,
you have dark eyes like your dad, but it's just weird because you usually see enough of a resemblance. Maybe I shouldn't delve into this because it could be I'm subtly, unconsciously uncovering something that I shouldn't be.
I feel like my brother and I have very similar voices. Like, very similar.
I guess I haven't really noticed that.
Well, because when I was doing my video, I noticed that when I was talking, I was like, sounds like my brother.
Oh.
Like, that's kind of weird. Sounds like Nick. Sounds like Nick's talking here.
Huh.
And even, like, calling the grandparents, they'd always be like, who is this?
Uh-huh.
And they would think it was either my dad or my brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah. So, I mean, at least vocally.
You know you're not adopted.
Mm-hmm.
Because of your vocal cords. Mm-hmm. Vocal sounds. Whatever. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah,
you just don't have very, like, distinct characteristics, in my opinion, from either of your parents. Which is just weird. Because, well, it's not weird. It's just funny.
Well, I've got the nose. Mm-hmm. I've got the nose.
It's a nice nose.
I was talking about it when I went to the coast with my mom. I don't remember what brought it up, but I was talking about my nose being large, having an ample nose. And she was like, well, you've got two parents with big noses, so, you know.
So there was no effort to be like, no, you have a nice nose that fits your face. It was like, oh, well, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm aware of it. I'm not like, you know.
I don't think you have a big nose. Like, it fits your face, and it's a prominent nose, you know.
That's just another way of saying it's a big nose.
No, it's not even prominent. That's not what I meant to say. Like, it's just a strong nose. I don't think it's big. I just think it's, now when people see you, they're going to, like, be looking at it. We shouldn't have even brought it up.
I don't care. People are looking at it already. It's like the first thing you see when you look at a face.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's like the first thing you see when I'm walking through the door or something.
My nose comes in, and then I come in a second later.
We're in 2 different time zones. Just kidding. That's like a thing that comedians say. I don't really mean that. I don't really feel that way.
I figured.
Okay.
It's fine.
You have a nice nose.
It's fine to make jokes.
You have a nice nose.
Thanks, you're sweet. You got a cute little nose.
Thanks.
Give it to me.
Fuck.
Straight noses. No, wait. Let's not. Mm-hmm. Let's not do that.
Thanks.
I like your nose on you.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wouldn't that be horrifying?
If you had my nose,
just
that
either
would
way.
be horrifying.
Just either way.
I mean, I would still love you.
Oh, sure. The truth comes out, you shallow such and such.
I'd still love you. You'd just be a nightmarish freak. That's me.
Oh, okay. Thank you, babe. Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Let's just keep our noses for the good of our relationship and our faces.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Let's.
Okay. Wouldn't that be funny if, like, none of this got captured? Is this okay?
If your computer
Should we do, like, a sign-off? Should we try a sign-off?
Thank you all for watching.
They're not watching.
Thank you all for listening.
Is that it?
Yeah, and then just cut out. Just turn it off.
Thank you all for listening. Boop.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Cool. Bye.
Trapped in the closet.